I'm VJ Hamilton and welcome to the Autoimmune Reset, the place for you to learn how to thrive with autoimmune disease and feel empowered to take steps to transform your health to feel better than ever. You can start making changes today to improve your health. So with every episode, my mission is to share with you simple ways to up-level your diet and lifestyle with key learnings from my own journey reversing autoimmune disease and inspirational stories from those who have reset their autoimmune symptoms and are now thriving in life. I suffered from autoimmune disease for over 25 years and now I live symptom-free, and I wish the same for you as well. So thank you for being here and sharing this time with me. Now let's get started. Hello and welcome to this Friday 5 episode of the Autoimmune Reset podcast. I'm your host, VJ Hamilton. I'm a nutritionist, scientist, and expert in autoimmune disease. And if you are listening to this episode live, today we're going to be talking about the holiday season. And if you celebrate Christmas, it is happening next week, and you may be feeling quite pressurized or stressed about it or feeling overwhelmed. And today I want to talk to you about how you can actually use this time to your benefit and make sure that you don't feel burnt out at the end of the year and you actually go into January feeling refreshed, because it doesn't have to be all about doing more. I am so guilty of this. I am hosting Christmas Day this year and we have 11 people coming. So it's going to be 13 of us in total. And there is a lot of cooking to do. And today I was upset because there is some smoked salmon that I wanted to order from a place in Scotland and it's too late to do the order now. I just realised that I was so angry at myself for missing that deadline. And the truth is, I don't really need smoked salmon from Scotland to have a lovely Christmas day with the people who mean the most to me. That's really what this whole period is about. It's about spending time with people. It's about reflecting. It's about Christianity, if that's what you believe in. It's not about feeling completely overwhelmed and trying to do things perfectly. And I certainly go into that mode a lot. So I am learning as I go as well. But what we want to do this time of year is do activities that actually support your health, your nervous system, and your energy so that you feel good into the new year. And for many people, this time of year isn't that restful and you can be busy with social demands and you might be feeling emotionally charged, especially if you're seeing people that you don't normally see and you might not get on with. And sometimes we are put in a room with a group of people and because of different connections, then there can be family issues or tension. It can also disrupt your routine, and I find that difficult as well. I love my routine, even though I like to travel and I like to do lots of different things. I actually love my routine as well. And your routine goes out the window and you might not be able to go to the same gym classes or whatever keeps you sane normally in life. It all changes. So today's episode is about 5 simple, practical focus areas that can help you move through this season feeling more grounded rather than depleted. The first one I think is particularly important, and it's to be present with the people you're spending time with. And this might sound obvious, but in practice, it's one of the hardest things to do. And being present doesn't mean having endless energy or being on all the time. It means paying attention to where you are rather than mentally running ahead to what needs doing next. So when somebody is talking to you, are you listening to what they're saying? Are you taking everything in? Or are you thinking about what you're going to say next or thinking about what you need to do? And I think if you have the type of mind where you have a lot of thoughts and you have quite a racing mind, it is quite difficult sometimes to listen. And I was listening to a podcast episode recently about conversation, and a lot of us feel pressurized to make conversation, and we're always thinking about what we're going to say and what we're going to ask and how we're going to be part of the conversation. But the truth is, listening is one of the main parts of a conversation. And so many people are not listening anymore. We're just waiting to say what we want to say, or we've thought of something we want to say and we don't want to forget to say it, or we're just thinking about something else. And I really try my best to be as present as I possibly can when I'm in conversation with people now. I do it as part of my job. I give people the space during our appointments to share how they're feeling, share their background, share their experiences. And I think through that, it has made me a better listener. And I generally just like to listen to people anyway. And I do ask lots of questions. That is a bit of a flaw, but I like to listen to people, and it is a real skill. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be saying anything. It's just when we are present, when we not looking at our phones. I mean, one of the things that I changed a while ago is I never get my phone out anymore when I'm having a meal with people, unless I'm taking a photograph. But generally, I will be keeping my phone in my bag, and I will be doing the same on Christmas Day as well. I will be hosting. I'll want to take some photos, obviously, but I want to be in that moment with those people. And that's where the memories come from. The memories are not going to come from me thinking about, gosh, what we're going to be doing for dessert, or having my phone and checking through my messages or checking posts, or all the things that it's so easy to get involved in, but actually being present does make such a difference. And it's not just about paying attention. Actually, from a biological point of view, it really matters too, because when you are feeling connected and safe with others, the nervous system actually shifts out of the stress mode. Your heart rate will slow, your digestion can improve, and your body can be better at recovery and repair. And especially during this time of year, we want our digestion to be good, because we might be eating more than normal. We might be eating different foods to normal. So actually, if we're feeling calmer, that's going to be extremely helpful. As I said, presence might look like putting your phone away during meals, allowing conversations to unfold without rushing them, or simply listening rather than thinking about how you should respond. So if you notice yourself feeling overstimulated or irritable, that's often a sign that your nervous system is overloaded, not that you're failing socially. Short breaks, you can step outside. I like to go for a walk during Christmas. I mean, I go for a walk every day anyway, but I mean on Christmas Day, it's lovely to get outside and go for a walk, or Boxing Day, and just finding those quiet moments, and that can make such a big difference. Next is to eat food that is nourishing, is grounding and satisfying. Because we often think about this time of year as eating and extreme type of eating. So overindulgence on one side and restriction on the other, but neither support stable energy or digestion. So this season is extremely good for eating those nourishing foods. And when I'm talking to clients about Christmas and we're thinking about a Christmas dinner with turkey, Brussels sprouts, potatoes, red cabbage, all these delicious foods, they are so healthy. So we can make a lot of this season and make sure that we're eating a lot of that healthy, nutrient-dense food. And I've always loved Christmas dinner because it's such a healthy, nourishing dinner. And I feel so good as long as I don't overeat after eating that type of food. I've already had quite a few Christmas type dinners and I enjoy it so much, rather than just thinking about all the sweets and the chocolate and all these different things that you can eat. Focus on the foods that are actually good for you. And it's like you have cranberry sauce as well, and cranberry is full of polyphenols. When you actually look at the Christmas foods like nutmeg, cinnamon, all these things that we have this time of year, they are extremely nourishing. Obviously, the processed foods aren't, but if you can make sure that you are eating the majority of your food from this healthy whole food, which we relate to Christmas, then it's fine to have a few desserts or have a few chocolates or whatever you like to eat this time of year. But focus on the nourishing foods first and you will feel a lot better for it. Next is to build in relaxation to support your nervous system, because we are overstimulated during this time of year. We might be feeling overwhelmed because you might be busy at work, you might be finishing things off. Generally, if you work for a large corporate, I remember when I did, there is so much to get done this time of year. In addition to that, your children are about to finish school, you might be going to nativity plays, there might be more going on, you might be out of your routine. And then you've got Christmas to prepare for. You can feel very overwhelmed, but also stimulated. You're living on fight or flight. And that is where relaxation can be extremely helpful, and weaving it into your day. And often we'll have plans, but I have some free time. I've got Boxing Day free. I've got the 27th and the 28th, I am doing things, but I've got some free time during the day. And this is going to be where I can start to focus on rest and maybe sleep a little bit longer than I did before, read a magazine in bed. I love doing that. A cup of tea and a magazine. Sometimes it is a health magazine, to be fair, but that's how I like to unwind. And I love to read, and I'm reading A Christmas Carol at the moment. And it's just so nice to have some space to do that. So start to think about ways that you can relax during this period as well. Even if you are busy, then maybe just those moments that you can weave into your day. And I've actually bought my sister the NeuroSym for Christmas. Now, she doesn't listen to this, so she won't hear this, but I'm excited to give that to her to help to relax a bit more and calm down and support her vagal tone. So I'm very excited to be giving that to her. If you'd like to find out more about the NeuroSym, and you might want to get it for somebody for Christmas like I have, then you can find out about that in the show notes as well. Next is to spend time reflecting on what worked and what didn't work this year. And you don't even need to write it down. It's just going through that thought process, because we are getting to the end of the year and you might not want to work in years. Maybe that doesn't work for you. Maybe you just like to go with the flow, or you like to take it a month at a time or a quarter at a time. But I just think it's a natural phase where we can just look back, and instead of thinking, why didn't I do better? You can use questions like, what actually helped my health this year? Or what drained my energy more than I expected? Or which changes were sustainable and which felt forced? And when you start reflecting, it gives you information, because it helps you understand what your body responds well to and what it struggles with. And honestly, this has been one of the most significant aspects of being able to reverse my symptoms, is understanding my body and understanding what works in terms of changes that I've made for my health, what habits work, what tech works. As I said, I'm buying the NeuroSym for my sister this year. I'm buying my dad the Aura Ring. A lot of people that I know are getting health tech this year for Christmas, but I'm really hoping it benefits them in the same way it's benefited me, but it might not, because we need to work with our own body and we need to find things that really work for us as well. So that's why reflecting can help you see, okay, I did try and change that. So what was the struggle there? Why didn't that work? Did I try to do too much? Did I try to do it on my own? Did I try to do something that I don't enjoy? There's so many reasons that things don't work out, and you don't need to make any decisions or set goals straight away. Simply just notice the patterns, and that will be enough. And this awareness can shape how you approach January without needing a dramatic reset. And lastly, make time for activities that help you feel like yourself again, because that's what so many people tell me when I'm working with them. And as part of the Autoimmune Forum, if you're not part of the Autoimmune Forum, it is a free group that I have set up. You can go to www.theautoimmuneforum.com and join us there. It's just a lovely community of people who are living with autoimmune disease. There's some free guides over there. There's lots of meals. I'm sharing some recipes for Christmas as well. So feel free to go over there. But one of the things that a lot of people tell me is they stopped feeling like themselves. And I certainly did. I always felt like my brain felt switched on. I had lots of mental clarity. And when that stopped, I just didn't feel like myself, and I had brain fog and chronic fatigue syndrome. So I needed to start doing things that lit me up. As well as that, I needed to do a lot of other things on my health. I had stopped doing the things I loved in life, and that's how we connect with ourselves. And this might be reading, spending time in nature, gentle movement, listening to music, creating music, playing a musical instrument, or simply having time without an agenda, which I think is key. We should all have time. And I don't want to say time in our diary, because that sounds almost like it is part of an agenda, but we need some time and space in our life to be able to think, because when we are constantly doing things and we don't have those moments to pause and think, am I doing the things that I want to be doing in life? And are there things in my week that actually bring me joy? It can be really difficult if you are trying to work on your health and you're not doing those things. Then it can be particularly challenging, because working on your health can be challenging. And if you're not feeling happy or passionate or joyful at that moment, it's going to be even harder. So during this time of year, when you're not as focused on work, this is a good time to start thinking about those activities that really light you up, and that can help regulate your nervous system. It can reduce the background stress that accumulates over time. So if you felt disconnected, flat, or not quite yourself, this is often where the repair starts. Not with more effort, but with the familiarity and ease of the things that you love to do. Even short periods of doing something that feels grounding can help you enter the new year feeling more settled and clear. And I always feel better when I get outside. I love taking my dogs for a walk. It's one of my favourite things to do. And if I don't have that in my day, then I just don't feel right anymore. The holiday season doesn't need to be optimised or filled with pressure. It can simply be a time to slow down, reconnect, and take stock. If you focus on presence, nervous system support, reflection, those nourishing foods, and small moments of reconnection, you're already doing a great deal for your health. These aren't dramatic interventions, but they're the kind of inputs the body responds to most consistently. So I hope this gives you a helpful framework for the weeks ahead. I'm wishing you a wonderful time next week if you are celebrating Christmas. Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful time with your family and friends, and make the most of it so that you can start the new year feeling focused, feeling fresh, and having that warm feeling that you get when you have just had such a lovely time with the people you love. Have a great time. I will be in touch soon. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for joining me today on the Autoimmune Reset. I really hope you enjoyed the discussion, and be sure to subscribe to the podcast so that you never miss an episode. And if you liked it, I would hugely appreciate a review on iTunes, as it helps me understand what you like about the podcast and to help share the information with more people. I'm excited to speak to you next time, and remember, you have the power to take the reins on your health. So keep the faith and celebrate the small wins. Until next time.